Welcome back, everybody. We only have a few minutes left, but we still have time to discuss a really important phenomenon taking place across our country, something I never expected to see. But anti-Semitism has been on the rise, specifically within the last 2 years. And while other countries that have large Jewish populations like France, Canada, and the United Kingdom all saw decreases in anti-Semitic incidents, the U.S. saw just the opposite, especially in major cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. But why is such behavior on the rise as of late? Here to talk about this issue is Brian Leib, the executive director of CASE PAC, the only federal PAC dedicated to combating anti-Semitism in federal politics. Brian, welcome back, sir. I am delighted to hear about this organization. Let's start off with that. I want to hear all about it.
Amanda, thanks for having me on, and thanks for everything that you do to help the Jewish community shine a spotlight on the dangerous rise of anti-Semitism right now. It really is at alarming rates, and that's why I'm so excited about this new role for me at CASE PAC, which is the nation's only federal political action committee that is dedicated to combating anti-Semitism in federal politics. And in short, what we're doing is are one of two things, hopefully at the same time. One is we're supporting the good guys, the incumbents, and also congressional candidates that have pledged to fight anti-Semitism and have showed us both in words and actions that they have a strong track record of doing so. And secondarily, we are going on the offense against the bad guys who think it's okay to traffic in anti-Semitism, whether it's members of Congress like Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, Cori Bush, the whole squad, all of them, or congressional candidates out there that are also singing the same tune that the squad is singing as well. So we're going to support the good guys, and we're going to go on offense against the bad guys and gals.
Brian, last week we had on Professor Alan Dershowitz, and we were talking about this gal, I think her name was Fatima Mohammed, at the City University for New York's law school graduation, and the things that she said in her speech. So in preparing for that interview, I looked up some statistics regarding anti-Semitic crime, and what I found were some numbers pertaining specifically to New York. And it was that last year, New York City had a 76% increase in hate crimes against Jewish people from 28 to 86. And I thought, well, you know, it's a big city. I'm sure that that's more intensified in big cities where you have a lot of liberals who unfortunately have more of a propensity towards anti-Semitism. And that's not my opinion. That bears out in the facts. But then I saw this from the Anti-Defamation League that shows that it's not just specific to New York City. The number of anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. increased by 35% in the past year, from 2,721 in 2021 to 3,697 in 2022. This is horrific to see. These are the types of numbers that you would expect to see leading into something very, very bad happening for a country. I hope I'm wrong, but what do you think?
Well, certainly what you just said are two statistics that a lot of people know, and let me drop another one in here, and that is that the Jewish American community, or the Jewish population in America, we represent just around 2% of this entire country, but yet we are the target of 55 to 60% of the hate crimes across this country right now. So 2% of the population is the majority of the hate crimes in this country. So something is clearly not right. I'm very glad that you just brought up this most recent speech from the Cooney School of Law. CASE PAC has been very supportive of members of Congress that have spoken out against this. We have spoken out against this. In particular, Representative Mike Lawler from New York has introduced a bill that it will directly penalize any colleges and universities in this country that traffic in anti-Semitism. They won't receive federal grants or federal dollars anymore as long as they support this vitriol that's coming from college campuses. And the speech by this student, listen, of course she has freedom of speech. She can say whatever she wants, but at the end of the day, what she was saying was hateful. It was inciting more hate against the Jewish people. And most importantly, Amanda, it was full of lies. Everything that she was saying is lies. Israel is not an apartheid nation. Israel does more to help the world than more countries could ever do. And yet Israel is a country of 7 million people. So listen, anti-Semitism is on the rise in this country right now. It's coming from members of Congress. It's coming from students on college campuses. It's coming from social media, where a lot of it is really brewing up. But the fact of the matter is I think fighting anti-Semitism is not just a Jewish issue. It should be an American issue, and really all Americans from all stripes and all religions should band together to say that anti-Semitism has no place in this country.
Well, and I'm with you on that. I watched a good portion of her speech, and not only was it disgusting and hateful, but it was factually wrong on a number of items. And it was just absolutely embarrassing for her, embarrassing for that law school. It was horrific to see. But you were countering this, and I love the notion of case pack and what you're doing there. We appreciate having you on, sir. We'll have you back on again very soon.
Yep.
All right, everybody, on that note, I cannot believe that this hour has already flown by. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the FBI, the Trump indictment, and much more, so be sure to tune in. As for now, my awesome colleague, Grant Stinchfield, is